Alright, so this is where I strongly recommend to you guys who have not seen Sims with Benefits Part 1, stop this video, go watch that right now, then come on to this one. So, quick recap, I get the Sims Online for my PC, I make a character, make a house, start going around seeing what the game is about, hook up with a few sim girls, find one sim girl who's like the Jessica Alba of the game, I make her my personal little project, she and I start hooking up for a few days, everybody's happy, then I find out she's married, and she's married to the mayor. We go to her house so she can write a Dear John letter to her husband, who is now her ex-husband. As she's writing her Dear John letter, somebody walks in, and that somebody is her friend. But see, I'm thinking it's her husband because there's some guy dressed up in a suit, so I bounce. I Control-Alt-Delete my butt out of there. And I walk away from the keyboard, and I'm just thinking, what just happened? I was away from the game for about 8 hours, and every minute I was gone, the game kept calling me back. So I cracked, and I went back to the computer and sat down at the keyboard, and as soon as I get back to my house, I notice something's different. And I walk inside, and Felicia has done an extreme home makeover. Like, I have new carpet, I have new tiles, I have new wallpapers, I have a completely furnished house. This girl has decked it all out. She's got some friends over and I'm speechless. Like, before I can even say anything, she runs up, she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Listen, sorry, I hope you're not mad at me. You seemed pretty mad the way you signed off. I hope you don't mind that I added some stuff to your house. You can move everything back or you can sell everything if you don't like it, but, you know, I just figured this would be a nice surprise for you to come home to." And I'm just like, well, no, this looks awesome. And then she says, "By the way, I left you a little something in your tip jar." I go over to my tip jar, and this girl left me $200,000 in there. Now let me tell you guys something about Sims Online, okay? Sims Online, you have to physically take your sim to work. Everybody, for the most part, makes pizzas because it's the least depressing job there. And you're there for a good amount of time and you only bring home like $75 a day. So at that point, I was like, okay, stop. You know what, Felicia? I don't get too much into your personal life, but if you're going to be living with me, I'm going to need some answers, okay? Are you into drugs? Are you selling like sim drugs in this game or something? I don't understand how you're so rich. You just stole all your ex-husband's money? Or are you just mooching off of them? What's really going on here? She's like, "Well, no, I just have sim worker bots." And I'm like, "What is a sim worker bot?" She's like, "Well, basically I have another account and it's a program and it's a character and his job is just to work for me 24 hours a day. And then I just transfer the money from that account into this account. So I just constantly have money coming in from my worker bot." And I'm like, that is genius. And she's like, "Oh no, I make money in real life off of this too. Because I'm getting so much money, you know, I'll sell it on eBay. So I'll sell little packets. Like if you want $100,000, you'll pay me real currency on eBay, and then I'll come to your house and deliver the sim money to you in the game. So I'm making sim money and real money." And I'm just like, I got me a sugar mama now? I mean, I hit gold. So her friends show up and they're like, "Oh, how are the lovebirds?" and blah, blah, blah. Like, apparently everybody knows about me now. Like, I don't even think she's fully moved in for a full day. It got to the point to where everywhere I went, people knew who I was. Like, as soon as it said, "Adonde has entered the lot," like, everybody's like, "Hey, Adonde, what's up?" All of a sudden now, I'm like the Brad Pitt of The Sims Online. I'm Mr. Popular because I'm dating the Jessica Alba of The Sims Online. Everybody knew about this. Like, it wasn't even 2 days since she left her husband, but now everywhere I went in the city, people knew about me. But it just got old quick. I mean, after that first week of Felicia moving in with me, it was great, but then we started living like a married life, even though we technically weren't married on the game. You know, I would get on, and she's in the kitchen cooking, and then we'd sit down, and we'd eat, and we'd talk. It just wasn't like it used to be, and the game was just starting to get old, you know? I was like, I want to go out, I still want to have fun, but now I'm like locked down with shackles with this girl. And then I'm like, you know what? This is just a game. If you want to still go out and have fun, you technically still can. I know this girl is like your e-fiance right now, but you know what? It's just a game. I'm gonna go hook up with some random girl just to prove to myself this is just a stupid game. So one night I get online and she's not on, and I look for the most remote corner of the city where there's a good chance nobody's gonna know me. And I go way out in the boonies, and I find this lot, and there's only like a handful of people on it, and I'm like, okay, good. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun, and hopefully nobody here knows me. So I get on the lot, and nobody greets me with like, Donde, what's up? Nobody says anything. So I go out back, and there's this girl sitting out by the fire, and me and her start talking, and we keep talking. I'm talking sweet nothings into this girl's ear, and y'all know the routine. We start making out. And I get a little smooch on, and she's like, oh, it's like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's like that. She's like, well, you want to go to another lot? Maybe we can continue this somewhere else? And I'm like, no, let's not go anywhere. Let's stay right here. She's like, why don't you want to go anywhere? I'm like, no, let's just, let's just find a remote little area. If you don't want to do it out here, out by the campfire, we can go off in a corner somewhere. And then I get a private message from her saying, this is not what it looks like. I'm just trying to see how far he's going to take this. And I'm like, the heck? And then I send her a message back privately to let her know she just sent me a private message. Who was this private message intended for exactly? And I start looking around the lot, and there's this guy suspiciously sitting off on a bench all by himself with nobody around him. Oh boy, I hope she doesn't know me. So then I'm like, you know what? I gotta go. It was nice meeting you, but I gotta go. Peace. And I leave. And I start thinking, there is no way that this Brittany girl knows Felicia. And if she does know Felicia, she's never met me. So, I'm overthinking this. It's whatever. But later that night, I get home, and I walk in the front door, and Felicia's home, and it begins.
What? Oh my gosh, what? How could you do this to me?
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? You know what I'm talking about? You cheated on me.
And I'm like, what? Listen, okay? No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. She told me you cheated on me. I loved you. Why would you cheat on me?
I'm like, alright, hold on. First of all,
no, you hold on. Why? I left my husband for you, and you cheated on me. Why?
And I'm like, listen, alright, it's just a game, alright? It's just it's just a game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. She told me you kissed her. Why did you kiss her? I love you.
Alright. You know what? She's lying. She's lying, okay? I don't even know what you're talking about right now, because you sound crazy. She's lying.
No, she's lying. I'm crazy? Hold on 1 second.
And I guess she sent out a private message, because 2 seconds later, guess who popped up on the lot? Boop! Here comes Brittany.
Girl, he's a dog. He is a dog.
And I'm like, who are you?
Oh, listen, girl. He is lying. He is lying.
Why would you cheat on me? I loved you.
Listen, okay? Listen. It's not that serious, okay? It's just a game. This is a stupid game. It's not even real. Stop acting like it's real.
No, you're the worst kind of guy. You're the worst kind of hate guys. I left everything for you, and I loved you.
And you gave him all that money.
And I gave you I gave you all that money.
I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious right now? So when Felicia finishes yelling at me, she just logs off. And Brittany leaves too, and the house is empty. And the amount of guilt that set in after that, I felt like a dog. I felt so bad. I went to sleep, I woke up the next day, I come back to my house, and my house is empty. As in, Felicia picked up all the stuff that she bought, bounced, took down the wallpapers, she even ripped up the carpet and left. So I'm like, you know what? Who cares? I got $200,000 in the bank. I'm a free man. I can do whatever I want. I can get back to having fun. But that guilt, that thing sat like a ton of bricks on my chest. And then every lot I go to, nobody wanted to talk to me anywhere I went. Everybody was blackballing me. Everybody knew. All the guys hated me. All the girls on the game hated me. Everybody just knew that I was a cheating, two-timing dog. I felt so bad after a while, I just had to stop playing the game. I got off. I felt like garbage. Cheating is not worth it. This game has taught me that big time. If you ever have a girlfriend and you run off and cheat with some other girl, it's going to last 5, maybe 6 minutes, depending on the kind of guy you are, maybe even less. It's not worth it, and you got a lot to lose, especially if you're married or if there's a kid involved. You stand to lose a lot. I just lost my tiles and my carpet and my furniture in this game. In real life, situations can become a lot more painful and they're a lot more realistic. Cheating is no good.